All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we're going through Proverbs 6, verse 4. Let's get it. Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. That's it. That's the whole verse. For a little bit of context, before that, it's talking about this whole chapter 6 is about practical warnings. And the first part of chapter 6 is about if you put up security for your neighbor, if you guarantee someone else's loan and you're getting snared in the words of your mouth. So you've guaranteed somebody else's loan. You said you'll do something for somebody that now it's kind of coming back to bite you in the butt. Go humble yourself and beg to be let free of that. Because, when you owe somebody, it's easy to be treated and to treat yourself as a slave to that debt. And that takes you away from your call that God has for your life, right? And so then verse 4 says, give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. So right after it's saying, humble yourself and beg, it's saying, don't sleep. And I think what I'm getting here is, A, don't sleep if you guaranteed someone else's loan that is a neighbor or a stranger, and now you're getting caught up in your words and you're being held accountable to something that is causing issues for you. Don't sleep in that case. Try to get out of that situation. But if I extrapolate this a little bit more, the entrepreneurial application to me is just don't rest on your laurels. Like when you're in a sticky situation, get out as fast as possible. I know that sounds simple, but a lot of us are in sticky situations without realizing we're in sticky situations. And so we are resting on our laurels. For example, I would say it's a sticky situation if you don't have the skills to make the amount of money you need to not live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people work in their jobs, they're saving a little bit here, a little bit there. They're going to be able to retire when they're 70, but not really because inflation is just going to go. And what they think they need for retirement, they really might need more in 50 years, all that good stuff, right? And we're resting on our laurels in that situation with a decreased earning power, with a um, no savings account, with a negative net worth. All of these are sticky situations where one thing going wrong can basically bankrupt you, make you homeless, all of this stuff. And I'm in this sticky situation too. Like most of America's in this sticky situation, who they don't have $1,000 in savings and their net worth is negative because their debt is greater than their assets, right? And I think the plead here of give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber is just telling you when you're in that sticky situation, humble yourself, beg, and go to work. Like, don't sleep. Don't rest on your laurels. That's the application for me. And I also want to note here that it goes directly to give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber, which is interesting because on the priorities of activities, you have work, you have entertainment, you have stuff for your health, and then stuff for sleep. And health was like working out and eating and spending time eating and building relationships. Like that's a category. You have entertainment, which is like us playing video games or watching television or going to a game or whatever we do in the entertainment section, work and sleep. It's saying stop sleeping when you're in that sticky situation. And it implies that you should be doing more work to get out of that sticky situation. So stop sleeping, but it skips over entertainment and stuff for your health. And in my head, sleep is more important than entertainment and more important than taking an hour to eat a meal with a friend, right? Because of that, the fact that it's saying get rid of a number one priority, it means all these other things should go too. So it's not stop sleeping and work 16 hours a day and then entertain yourself for 8 hours a day. It's like stop the entertainment, stop all the unnecessary things. And if you need to, cut back on sleep a little bit. I don't know if it actually means to cut back on sleep because it's quite unhealthy to not sleep. Like you really won't be able to function well. But I think the message is trying to communicate is don't rest on your laurels. Cut out entertainment. Cut out the unnecessary meal times. Like if you can eat in 15 minutes and go back to work, do it if it's going to get you out of this sticky situation. That's not how you're going to live your whole life. For the rest of your life, eventually you'll be able to have 2 hour lunches with people. But right now, it's grind time. And because it's grind time, eat for 15 minutes, get back to work, sleep for 8 hours, get up, get to work. Don't take your 2 hour morning routine where you watch 2 episodes of One Piece, get to work. And so I think that's what the message is, and that's what the application is. Cut out all the unnecessary time wasters and get to work. So, where has this shown up in my life? Alex Hormozy said this thing: you create a fortune by using a lot of risk with a small amount of money, and you maintain wealth by using little risk with a lot of money. And right now, all of my stuff, I've realized I'm in a sticky situation financially. I don't want my family to be in this by the time we're having kids. My wife and I are having kids. And so I'm like, we need to create that fortune now by using a lot of risk with a small amount of money. And so I tend to gear myself towards riskier activities that can create greater returns with the small amount of money I have, because I realize if I'm stuck in this situation and I'm only making 60, 70, $80,000 a year 10 years from now, it's like pretty irrelevant to my life. Like I can always cut down on my budget. We can our kids might have to go without some stuff, but it's like people do it across the world. And then we can invest and we can work our jobs and we can live well on that. We can save, invest, and work our jobs on that, cut out all business spending, all that stuff. But I can't do that right now because hey, I'm 23. I don't have a ton of responsibility. And I honestly wouldn't urge anybody to do that ever, because if you think about it, you can only decrease your income or decrease your expenses so much, but you can raise your income infinitely. And so it's always important to be looking for where you can use a small amount of money with a lot of risk to multiply it quickly. So if you spend $1,000 in marketing, can you turn that $1,000 into 3,000 in sales? Now you figured out how to 3x your money. So now it's just, I need to do $10,000 of marketing. I need to do $100,000 of marketing. I'll do 300,000 in sales. And then I'll have 200K in profit. If you do that all year, now you have a multi six-figure business, right? And so those are kind of the things you need to look at. Where can I use a lot of risk with a small amount of money? And how can I get multiples with my money in the spare time that I have? Keep your job, keep working, but start spending your evenings, start spending your mornings, and start spending your weekends figuring out how to take a small amount of money and double it and triple it and get a 50% return on it. Because if you can do that and you can do it repeatedly, and you can consistently get that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% return, when it starts becoming 100,000 or $1,000,000, a 50% return will change your life. When it's $10, getting 5 on it won't change your life. So you got to make sure it's scalable. You got to make sure it's a lot of risk, small amount of money, and it can scale. And when you do that, that's kind of how you can, create that fortune that gives you your time freedom. And that's kind of what I am looking at doing in my life right now. I look for activities that have that risk and take that small amount of money. And typically, those activities require a skill set and they require a lot of work. And that's just how it is. You're just going to have to put in your time in the mornings, in the evenings, and on the weekends. There you go. Where do I want it to show up in my life? Not allowing myself to rest easy while stuff needs to be done. Like I'll often procrastinate and then say it's self-care. Honestly, procrastination is the opposite of self-care. Like if I want to watch an anime show or go play volleyball on the weekend or do whatever, it's like I should have woke up earlier and done what I needed to do, and then I could spend the rest of my time going to, you know, play whatever I want to play or do whatever I want to do or watch whatever I want to watch or hang out with whoever I want to hang out with. But when I do that stuff and work is undone and I feel like I am broke and just getting broker, it is not helpful for my mind state, my mental state, how I feel about myself. And that is the opposite of self-care in my mind. So not allowing myself to rest easy just because culture will tell you to rest easy, because culture will also tell you to have the median income. Culture will also tell you to focus on yourself and not focus on impacting other people. So that's where I want it to show up in my life. How can you guys apply it to your life? Create a sense of urgency around the sticky situations in your life. Focus on the big 3 categories: health, wealth, relationships. Do you have a sticky health situation right now? Are you a little bit overweight? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of what you see? Maybe you've never been to the dentist and you need to go to the dentist to fix your teeth. Maybe your diet's messed up. Create a sense of urgency around your health. Create a sense of urgency around your wealth. What's a way you can start producing 3,000 extra dollars per month? 2,000, 1,000, 500 extra dollars per month. Figure that way out and figure out how you can basically buy money. So create a system where you can put money in and get more money out. That's literally what business is. You put $1,000 into a business, you're gonna get $3,000 out. You put $1,000 into real estate, you're gonna get $3,000 out of real estate. Put money into the stock market, you get more money out of the stock market. And so start creating a system where you can put money in and then get money out. Don't create a system. You can, because money is simply a representation of our time, energy, and efforts. So you can create a system where you don't have to put any money in and you only put time, energy, and effort in. But I will tell you this, systems where you put money into them and then you get money out are the most valuable, because money is the least valuable resource. Your time, your energy, your effort, your peace of mind, all of that's more important than money. And you'll realize that the second you get money. But when you don't have money, it's easy to sacrifice those things to have it. But once you have it, it's like, I just want to buy more money with my money so that I can have my time. Because I don't want my money, I want my time. That's what we all want. We want our freedom. We want our peace of mind, right? So when you create a system where you can set aside $500 extra a month, put $500 in, and every month you put 500 in, you get $2,000 out. Once you create that system, you'll create an extra 1,500 a month in income. Well, when you reinvest, you put $2,000 in, and now you get $6,000 out, because you put $500 in. I guess you get $8,000 out. You're 4x in your money, right? You put 500 in, you get 2,000 out, 1,500 in profit. You put 2,000 in, you get 8,000 out, $6,000 in profit. And you just keep reinvesting into that system like that. Build the skills, the beliefs, and the character traits to support that system, and you'll see yourself blowing up really quickly. But one of my biggest problems in business, and I'm telling you guys this because create a sense of urgency around this, invest in your business, invest in your brand. One of my biggest barriers was trying to do everything for free. Napoleon Hill talks about this. A lot of people want something for nothing. And it's like, you're either going to spend a lot of time or a lot of money on it. Pick which one you want to spend. I prefer to spend my money, because if it's a system that multiplies my money, I can get my time back in an exponential manner. And so don't be like me and be afraid to invest in stuff. I was like, I've never put myself in a position where I've had a consistent, sustainable system that I'm consistently investing into. I've always invested a little bit of money, expected something too soon, and didn't see the fruits. Now I'm thinking of ways where I can consistently put money into something and then consistently produce money out of it and then start reinvesting profits. Again, you don't want to be putting money into something that you're not getting money out of for a year. You don't want to be doing it for 2 years. You don't even really want to be doing it for 6 months. But you also need to be acute at identifying where the weakness is. Alex Hormozy talks about, I don't want to be one of those people who invest in my business, because I realize that people who invest in their business just don't have a profitable business, because you should be able to generate $2,000 with that 500 and reinvest the 1,500, right? But so yeah, that's just what I got to say. Create a sense of urgency around health, wealth, and then relationships. If there's some relationship that's on the rocks for you, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your siblings, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your community. Reach out to those relationships and start acting with urgency in them to get them out of that sticky situation. But all of this, you need to identify the weak point, and then you need to address the weak point, whether it be a skill, character trait, or belief, whether it be you actually putting money into a system that's going to create more money, whether it's you working out, whether it's you eating better, or whether it's you spending more quality time with the people that you love. Identify the weak point, attack it, and hold yourself accountable to that sense of urgency around the attack. Thank you guys for listening. That is all we got for you on today's show. We will see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.